One last topic. This has to do with some of the content creators here. Destiny. I told you we would talk about this, and I want to get your opinion on this. You've said some things. You know, let me just kind of go down the list here. By the way, does anybody here not know what like the manosphere red pill community is?
I'm not really sure.
So the most famous person, I'm not even saying that he's red pill, that you'll know the name is Andrew Tate. Anybody not familiar with that name here? Okay, good. We're living on Earth. So by the way, there's a new BBC article that came out, a documentary. Do we have that clip or that article?
Yeah.
So BBC's released a powerful documentary exploring Andrew Tate's influence on young people. Okay. This is from the same guy, Matt Shea, who released a previous documentary, The Man Who Groomed the World. So he's off house arrest. You know, we've interviewed him twice. Patrick and I have flown to Madrid and Romania to interview him. I've gone on the record that I think it's all a sham. I think it's complete bullshit. Now they're off house arrest, Destiny. There's no new evidence. Things seem to be trending in the right direction.
That he's going to get convicted, right? You want to bet on it?
Yes, I would. Okay. I know that you've been very...
bet right
we have
now.
a $20 bet going.
I know you've been highly
bet.
critical.
Yeah.
$100, that's it?
Sure.
Put your money where your mouth is, buddy.
You can do $1,000?
I know, he bet me
Let's do $1,000.
That he'll get convicted of anything or anything traffic related?
Anything traffic related.
Does count?
Yeah, I would say so.
Well, that's not really trafficking.
Yeah, it's a different...
Trafficking is the crime that he's been charged with.
He's been charged with more than that, but... Okay.
I think it's absolute bull.
Of course you do.
Let's
you
bet
get paid
on that.
To say that, yeah.
Let's bet on that. Shake on it.
So...
$1,000.
Sure.
Do it. Okay.
We need to define what a trafficking crime.
Okay.
Because here's what I'm worried about. He's going to get convicted of being part of an organization that facilitates trafficking. And you're going to go, well, he wasn't trafficking himself.
We'll talk about off camera, but we have
I
$1,000
will
bet.
I will
work
bet.
on the
Yeah,
deal.
sure.
By the way, you know it's all bullshit. My point.
Absolutely not. But go ahead.
You've been willing to say
you guys will go. You guys will
bullshit.
take one line on a document uncovered by the Twitter files and use that to say that Hunter Biden did X, Y, Z, or a guy will show up on Epstein. Let me finish.
We're not talking about Hunter
Biden. One
Biden.
guy on Epstein's
Don't
flight
do
list
the
and say that
goalposts
guy's.
here.
But Andrew Tate has 5 million videos on how to traffic women. You go, did he really though? Did he really?
No, he doesn't have 5 million videos on how to.
He doesn't have videos talking about how to make women fall in love with him. There's not leaked text log talking about how we get women to do sex work. There's not logs showing and videos talking about how he gets his woman to convince other women to do sex work.
Well, the videos
There's
describing
not,
the actual methodology were 10 years ago. There are videos in recent years of him saying that he is involved in the webcam business. But with the rise of OnlyFans, all these other platforms out there, it's like, dude, everyone has their hand in the
Everyone's
entertainment
doing it,
industry.
buddy.
Are you
There's
kidding
a difference
me?
between
No,
you doing it and somebody forcing you to do it.
The girl next to you. The girl next to you.
Everybody
Maria.
has sex. That doesn't. You can't. Buddy, what are you talking about?
Whoa.
What is the comparison?
The girl next to you takes pride in she's telling people how to win on social media without having to rely on OnlyFans. It's getting so bad with girls doing OnlyFans. You have to have pretty girls basically being
Telling
like,
you this is how you
don't need to do OnlyFans.
Stop.
Okay, right, Maria?
Yes, right.
Okay.
How about all the young men falling into traps with crypto scams? How much do you talk about that?
I think that's a disaster. But
I think it's probably way more relevant than women doing
You're
OnlyFans. But go ahead. No, I'm just showing
goalpost.
where the focus is.
Let's
I think it's
stay on
interesting.
Andrew
Well,
Tate for a
hopefully
second.
somebody gets scammed by
Interesting.
crypto. They never do that again. They realize they were a dickhead. A girl who goes through that pipeline of sex work could be f***ed up for the rest of her life. They're entirely different things. Both of them are but you can't even compare to complete them or categorize them.
That's true,
in the
because
same
gambling
thing.
is actually the worst addiction in the world, far worse than doing sex work. True.
I don't know about that. I know a lot of people.
Gambling is literally the worst addiction of all the addictions that you can have. It's horrible. You hit up other people
Destiny,
for money.
the
You don't
last
have a
time-
health limiter to stop you from gambling. Like
You worked
people
in a
destroy their
casino, so I'm
entire
sure you
lives.
know.
Okay, number one, let's be real here. The last time I saw you, you was in a casino and you were addicted to gambling. Okay, you were at the Hard Rock.
I'm addicted to gambling.
Just kidding. I would say that.
Good pivot, though. Go ahead. Nice pivot.
I would say that a
in a
drug
casino.
addiction is way worse than a gambling addiction.
That's great because you don't know anything about
Doing
gambling.
and horrible drugs is way worse than like, hit me, dealer.
You're wrong, but I mean, the audience at home
Okay,
can go Google
that's
all they
fine.
want. But go
Anyway,
ahead, yeah.
let's not move the goalposts. Let's stay here, and
Yeah,
we'll
okay.
this isn't a Destiny thing, but what's the likelihood that he'll be free? Tate.
Tate
Yeah.
is almost certainly getting convicted at this point.
Okay, that's where we're gonna disagree. Anyway,
I hate Pearl, right?
True base.
And so,
good for you. Me too.
And I remember Tristan. I never attacked him actually. Until well, let me tell you a story. But I always went after Andrew because Andrew was the one who was always loud talking and just always just self-snitching and gloating and bragging and he's just a POS, but they're both are, right? And so Tristan I think he was talking about Islam, what Islam isn't and what Islam is and why he is still going to stay a Christian. Now I'm a heathen like you are, Stephen, right? So I quote tweeted him and at Sneeko. This is before Sneeko blocked me. Sneeko blocked me now.
Nice.
But I said, yo, your mentor, Tristan, because I know he was grifting. I know Sneeko did not believe in anything he was saying in reference to being Islamic. So Tristan knows about, me using him for good. Well, anyway, when he encouraged Pearl to attack other women, I took that screenshot and I also took the screenshot just in case he'll block me because I heard that he blocks you really quickly like Andrew. So I took a screenshot of what he said, and then I also took his actual tweet and quote tweeted it with the screenshot, and then I made a long post. I can't remember what it was, but I do remember the last two lines because I was talking about how, I know what it was. I said, yeah, and this is the reason why you finally asked your baby mama to marry you because you understand that your wife can't testify against you in court, which is true, by the way. That I have the actual.
No shot. Is that true?
Yeah. That is true. I can send it to you. I have the Romanian law that states that none of your family, your sister, your mother, your cousins, or your wife, and if you're a woman or your husband, they cannot testify against you in court. So the woman who has his daughter, he asked her to marry him while he was in jail. And so I guess right before the trial comes with the judge, I think they're going to go ahead and get married. So she can't testify against him.
Okay.
And so I told him this, right? I said this loudly. I put it out there. But then I said at the last two sentences, I said, but then again, I wouldn't expect anything less from the product of an black daddy.
Jesus.
And then he followed me. So when he followed me, I screenshot it and I said, if this is a Jedi mind trick, and this is what I tweeted his follow in my notifications. And I said, if this is a Jedi mind trick to confuse me, it's working. Because I was ready for the block, right? But he didn't. He followed me. So I said, I ain't going to follow this person back because I know he's going to be like, you better shut the hell up. I'm going to sue you. I don't want to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? In private. I want it to be out in public. So he was engaging with my tweets, but he wouldn't say anything, like he wouldn't address anything I said in the tweet. So I guess he would like compliment me. That don't work, and I understand. Now that I see Andrew Tate and I see Tristan, I see the importance of having a strong male figure in a woman's life as a little girl. Okay. Because I'm glad that my dad was around and I can see how he ran game on women. So when the stuff that they did, and you know that, then I told you about that. I know. Remember? Yeah. So when I look at the transcripts from the war room and how they were teaching other guys of how to it's not grooming. What is the word? It's, help me, Stephen. It's not, it's another word for tricking.
Manipulating?
Manipulating, thank you. It's manipulating. The words are not coming to me at the moment. So in manipulating and conning women into working into the sex industry on their behalf with, and so I was reading on it, I said, none of this would work. Not even the chocolates thing, like where it was like, tell a girl to bring you chocolates. And I was saying to myself, if I was young and a grown ass man said, bring me some chocolates, I was like, bring your own goddamn self some chocolates. Who do you think I am? It's like it's a slow boil to get her to be compliant. And I've never, because I've seen these tricks that done by my dad, I've never been compliant with the things that men. I remember men trying to do that to me when I was a young teenager.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like even watching like girls that I know like flirt with guys or whatever, and it's hard, especially because like just the nature of like the industry that I'm in. Most of the girls that reach out to me will be like 22 to 24, and I don't want to try to like be everybody's dad or whatever, but when I listen to it, they talk about how some guys talk to them, I like my eyes roll into the back of my head. I'm like, oh my god, like how do you fall for this? Like I see, like sometimes I'll read online where it's like, if you really want to get a girl, you just have to do this, and I'm like, bro, this is so no way girls fall for this. And then I like see like 23-year-old girls talk to guys, and I'm like, I'm like, oh my god, come on, like you believe this, like. Oh god, yeah, it's so cringe, but it works. Yeah, I mean, I see why people do it. Yeah. Ugh.
Do you intervene into? I mean, I know you're not their daddy, but do you try to be like
the thing is
voice of reason to?
Yeah, this is how it feels, and maybe I could be more active, but like this is the same role that I take like on stream, because people ask me, like, why didn't you intervene more with Sneeko and blah blah blah. Very rarely will I take an active role to be like, don't do this, unless somebody like legitimately comes to me like, hey, I really want your guidance or help on this. Because most of the time, either one, like I have to tread carefully because I'll come off as like jealous. They might just assume like, oh, well, you're just mad because you wish that you were this guy, blah, blah. So that's already like a weird dynamic. And then two, especially for women, especially for young women, and especially for young pretty women, nobody, and I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, and if you're a young woman, you talk to me, I love you very much, okay? But especially if you're a young woman, you don't want to hear somebody tell you the only reason why you're getting this type of attention is because this guy wants to you. Like, this guy doesn't actually give a about this guy, right? Because when you're a woman, that like destroys you. Like, well, no, I think this guy's genuinely interested in his thing, or he really wants me to do this thing. And it's like, bro, this guy is very clearly like, yeah, I know that you're excited because he said he'll cover your plane tickets, and he's even offering you a place to stay. He's doing that because he wants to get you alone in a hotel room. He wants it to be 12 a.m. He wants you to have nowhere else to go, and then he wants to try to you, and he'll do it whether you want it or not, right? But nobody wants to hear that. Yeah, it feels so bad to hear that. So, but yeah. So I usually, if somebody wants, if I see something like,
bad for them to hear that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it feels horrible for a young woman to hear that, because in their mind, I'm coming off Mr. Misogyny right now, but in their mind, like, this is a hard one, okay? But there are a lot of young women who think that they're a lot more intellectually captivating and funny than they actually are, but it's because sometimes they're surrounded by men that just want to them, right? So they grow up in life with these kinds of...
So the men are confirming things like that, like, you're so smart.
Exactly.
You're more than just beautiful. You're intelligent. Okay,
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And to have somebody else, especially, not to knock myself, but especially like somebody like me to say the opposite, right? Like, I'm not like your typical Giga Chad, so it's very easy to start saying like, oh, well, what does this guy know? Like, he's some loser, like, who cares about this dude? Like, this guy say this, right? Yeah, it's very, very, very hard for young women to hear that sometimes, I think.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.